YouTube, people of the internet, what's going on? Welcome to our first Osiris League Season 2 cast, big boy pogs. Now, unfortunately, things are a little crazy outside. We've had a couple of alarms go off and things are not, I can hear stuff going on in the background. As long as I can stay, I'll stay, but if I have to get up and go to the safe room for some reason, it's gonna happen midstream. It's just, it is what it is. You're not gonna hear the same as you heard last time, because where I used to live previously, it was like an older place, so the finishes were a little, how would you say it? It was less sealed, let's put it this way. This house is much more well sealed, so you guys will not even hear a single thing like the previous one. My daughter's favorite part of the intro music. That's cute. Yeah, so how's it going, everybody? Safe room? Yeah, I have a safe room now in the house instead of what I used to have previously, which was nothing. What's up, Wolf, Titch, MC, Milton Varga, Saffron, hello from 279. What's up? What's up? We're about to cast you guys. Big Noso, Gekko, what do you think about the setup of the Ark? What do you mean? What I mean by the setup of the Ark? How Ark of Osiris worked out, how the league worked out. Big Daddy, what's up? How you doing? We have a few, oh, the last 25 seconds-ish. Okay. Nice. It's the beat dropping, the big stuff. What else we got? What's up, Orang, I guess I'm gonna call you. Christian, what's up, dude? How's it going? And the Mood was here. He's going to his Ark. Good luck, my man. I hope you guys kill it. Careless Whisper, how you doing, man? Lolfix, how's it going? GG's earlier today. Enver, what's up? What's up, everybody? Omar, how's it going? Doglio, how's it going, guys? Yeah, just to give you guys a few updates. PK Branded, what's up? How's it going? Omar and Ankit, what's up, Ankit? And Leonards, my troops felt slower. Did you realize something similar? Yes, everybody had that weird feeling that everything is much slower. That everything is very much slower. I've heard it from multiple people, from multiple kingdoms, from multiple alliances. It's weird. I'm really interested as to how it happened. So, massive lag during LG1's Ark as well. Tell me about it. The JWM2 Ark was so laggy. It was nuts. But, chat, I can't show it to you because it's not that I can't show it to you. I can show it to you, but I'm not logged into that account. Where is it? Where's our victory? There has to be a mail somewhere in here. Is it in system? Is it in alliance? Did I miss it because I left and then therefore I don't see it anymore? It's not in reports. We won our Ark of Osiris. And Lilith hasn't fixed it? No, Lilith hasn't fixed a single thing. Lol. We won our Ark, JWM2. It wasn't, the score says pretty much most of it. It was an okay match. These guys are they're quite a ways away from us and they had some attendance issues as well. I believe that maybe, just maybe, Box is #1, which does not surprise me much. Oh, I got bumped off the top 10. I was in top 10 for a little bit. Cammy in here too. Box really wanted to go all in. I wonder why people want his name here. But we got like the top score for caravans in our Ark of Osiris and our team. It was a fun fight. It was pretty straightforward. And now we're going to go take a peek at LFaM against Legion Aurum from Kingdom 45 versus 279. There's like a 500 million power difference between the two, but this difference is less significant. These folks have more tier 5s available to them, and these guys might just have to heal in that essence. Like, oh, this is not on. That's why the light looks, that's why it looks weird. Check it out. Bam. Turn on the light. Let it balance, and boom, I look completely different, although that's a little stronger than it should be. You can see the thing reflecting here. But anyway, yeah, it should start any moment. Well, it should have started right now. Hello? Watch. Go. Someone? Maybe? No? Can't? Yes. Do I really need to be in their kingdom? Last time you could just watch. These guys I can watch. Can I not watch anyone that is not on the recommended? So only the recommended can be viewable? Alright. Anyone in LFaM want to let me in? We'll do it like that, but that's good to know. Man, oh man, we can only watch the recommended? No. It worked. Okay, I had to get out and get back in. Okay, never mind. Cool, we're in, chat. Alright, so what we're gonna do is this. Usually when I cast arcs, I pay less attention to chat and I focus more on the match to give you the best analysis possible and make it feel like a sporting event kind of thing. So I'm gonna go into caster mode, and some of you guys might have questions, comments, anything like that. If the game becomes too one-sided, we will go to just talking with chat. If the game is not too one-sided, I will let you guys know, like, all right, ask a few questions. I'll keep an eye on chat in a little bit. But yeah, let's get this started. Where's Dragotin Osiris League team? I have no idea. I have no clue. They're probably playing right now. Chisco's playing right now, I think. Let's do this. Welcome to Osiris League Season 2. This is our first match, the last slot of the day, and this is Ark of Osiris. For those of you who have never done Ark of Osiris before, Ark of Osiris is a different type of game mode that exists within Rise of Kingdoms. It's a 1 hour long event in which the name of the game is not getting the most kills, but rather getting the most points in the 1 hour total. There are 3 different ways to get yourselves points, either through holding on to buildings, through Ark of Osiris deliveries, or through gathering. So you have 1, 2, and 3, and that's that. Now, there are certain different ways to play this game mode, but in theory, the most important 2 things you gotta do is hold on to as many buildings as possible and deliver as many arcs as you can. Now, the thing about Ark of Osiris is that it is a mirrored map. It is crossed on this line right here. I forgot to turn on the drawing software I usually use. So you're going to have to imagine a line right here. These are 2 equal sides of a map. Both sides have the same buildings and the same ability to gain power points. And the whole point of this is that you got to cross to your opposition side and start taking over buildings of theirs. Or if your opposition is strong, you definitely want to try to hold on to your own buildings. There are 2 teams of 30 going at it, and the best part about Ark of Osiris is that all your troops go severely wounded and don't die, and at the end of Ark, everything comes back to normal. If we go take a look at 279, where these cities reside, or 545, they are all shielded and protected while they're inside the Ark of Osiris. Both teams coming out very fast off the gates. We're seeing 6 rallies, 4 by LFaM, 2 by LA45. Now, what they're doing is they're rallying the primary buildings, which are the obelisks. And the way the match is set up is that for the first 3 minutes, you have the setup stage. Once the 3 minutes pass, everyone can come out into the map. From there is another 3 minute, I believe, right? Or 4 minutes. It's at the 8th minute, so 5 minutes. You have about 5 minutes till the 52nd minute to gain access to all of these buildings right here, occupy them and start pushing forward. And in the 52nd minute, the rest of the buildings open up, and then time is irrelevant from there on. Everything is open for everybody. The Ark of Osiris will spawn in 11 minutes. And for now, what we're going to see is rallies coming out from both sides doing 2 things. Securing their own obelisks, as well as aggressing towards the opposition's obelisk. Now, the trick is, some people use rallies to move troops forward. Others use rallies to actually hit buildings, which is what they're meant for. So we're going to see if LFaM are looking to hit their opposition's buildings, which I'm assuming is this march right here, as well as this march right here, or are they going to let it go? Now, we see right here a rally on the top obelisk, and this rally is gonna take some time. It's a very, very slow moving rally, which is not a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. It looks like there are cavalry rallies coming out of here. Interesting that one is a 5 minute long rally. Good Lord. So you can see all the full rallies by LFaM coming out right here. And if we go take a peek at the other side, we'll see some red marches, red rallies coming out. They are trying to secure their own obelisks, I believe. So if we go take a peek at this, they're rallying their own side's obelisk to essentially move troops forward and get in quicker. Essentially hold on to their buildings and ensure that no opposition comes to take the obelisk out. Obelisks are very important buildings. We're not really going to go into each building and their details exactly because most of you already know all of this. But again, as the buildings that allow you to move yourself on the map, they're crucial to have them as fast as possible. We're already seeing a little bit of a delay by the folks in blue to get their obelisk. And even these few seconds are very, very, very expensive long term in the beginning of the match. The reason for that is as soon as the obelisk is secured, the 3-minute cooldown on the building is done, then cities are able to pour in. Now, as you can see on this side, the red team has almost a whole minute worth of time in which their cities are going to be ported in, and LFaM's troops will not be ported yet. LFaM also have to make sure that all their troops are in buildings or in their cities before they port. So it's not only a minute worth of delay in terms of getting to the front, but it's a few more seconds after that to reset up and get your marches out. This leaves a full minute for people to port, start a 1-minute rally, and by the time LFaM start positioning themselves and moving forward, the rally that came out of here is already fairly advanced. It's already at a stage where it can do damage. Now, the trick here is to time the time in which your obelisk runs out with the time left on the match. As you can see, the folks in red are going to get their building 10 seconds after the 52nd minute, which means they're going to be able to port here 10 seconds after these buildings are open, which again means that they'll be able to launch a very, very sneaky rally to the other side much earlier and potentially catch LFaM off guard. Early on, there is not much to discuss. The only thing that is important is the little bit of extra time one side or the other have with a certain building. Right now, it's a fairly even matchup. You can see that the folks in blue have had like 2 seconds more worth of building, and so they hold a very narrow lead. And if we take a peek, they're definitely going to lock in another building about 4 seconds ahead, so they'll gain even a little bit of an extra lead. And they'll start building up this lead as more and more buildings close in their favor. And again, the whole point is that the red team are looking to not let that lead grow. As you can see right now, 3 buildings are in the favor of blue team, 90 points per minute, while only 2 for the folks in red for another 28 seconds. This is how you build leads. It's important to understand this when we're on at this level and not fighting yet, because that's how you can know whether or not your strategy is working out well. Here's a great example. If Thanos manages to take this desert altar away from red team, he's essentially going to delay their ability, and he does take it. Oh my goodness, that's a pretty big mistake. What ends up happening here is that Thanos will most likely not be able to hold on to this building, but what he's doing is he's delaying the time it'll take the red team to lock in the building. It's very important to remember that this game mode is not necessarily about winning, getting points. It's also about stopping the other team from getting points. So you can see all this time Thanos was here, reset the clock. He cost them about 30 seconds. In a desert altar, that equates to about 75 points. And as you do it more and more consistently, those 75 points every single time will start adding up real quick. You'll see once all the buildings get locked into the favor of everybody locks in their buildings, there is going to be a very slight delay, a very slight lead for the blue team, primarily because they delayed that altar long enough. The whole point of what they're doing right now, again, is to cause confusion. This rally right here going for the obelisk is one of those plays that you really want to be seeing as early as possible, because as you can see, they're locking in a lot of marches in this zone, and on top of that, doing fairly well against an obelisk. Now, granted, obelisks don't give that many points, The whole point of obelisks is to do this, is to lock in troops in the obelisk defending it. And while that happens, the folks in blue can start repositioning themselves forward on the match. Now, another building blinking on the other side is another obelisk. Yet again, the blue team is just looking to lock in red team in their obelisk and essentially earn their time back. By locking in the red team in here, they guaranteed that the 1 minute of delay they had in porting is no longer there because people didn't push forward. People ended up holding back to defend against the rally. So those two rallies were really, really, really good. Remember, winning a rally is not necessarily the point. Beating the building is not necessarily the point. Holding on to the building is not necessarily the point. The point is, how do I gain more points and how do I stop the enemy from gaining points? By any means necessary. And I've seen crazy, crazy, crazy plays to get there. Now, as we keep looking, I see Prepared to Die. Wow, I didn't know he was an I did know he was an LFaM. X Kingdom 58. We have a rally going on, a Desert Altar, red Desert Altar getting swarmed. Not rallied yet. There is a swarm, a pretty big swarm in here. This Desert Altar has not locked in the favor of LA45 just yet. And the most important thing in the beginning are these Alliance First Occupation points. By locking in the building in your favor for the first time in the match, you guarantee yourselves 750 points. It is right now how the blue team is in the lead because they delayed this time for the red team to gain their Desert Altar and gain their points. You can also see they're already 150 points ahead per minute, which means the lead is going to keep growing. That small delay, that one march that managed to take out this Desert Altar cost the red team a decent amount right there. But the crazy part out of all this is that they are a little bit ahead. Now, the way they're a little bit ahead, if I were to guess, someone caravanned and got hit back home. Someone caravanned and got hit back home, and that's how they have now the lead. Because there is absolutely no way they gain uneven amounts of points to start with. So that should definitely be a caravan. Someone didn't notice their caravan and boom, went the points. Well, you could have uneven amounts of points. Technically speaking, you could get to uneven points because you have an even and an odd. True. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. The bottom line is right now, the red team is ahead in the total points game, but they're 80 points per minute behind in the points per minute game, which means that in about, we'll say 2 minutes-ish, blue team should be able to take the lead back so long as they maintain this kind of a lead in the points per minute game. To make things worse for the red team, their Desert Altar, 150 points per minute, are getting is getting destroyed right now. They're getting swarmed, and I don't see any red reinforcements anywhere. This Desert Altar, holding on for dear life, is about to fall, and when it falls, that's 150 points per minute less for red team, and that starts making things look good for blue. We're going to keep an eye on this really quickly. As it goes down, we have blue buildings blinking as well. The Shrine of Life, that is supposed to be a red Shrine of Life, is in blue, and now it's being hit back. They want their Shrine of Life back. There's a small swarm in here. It's doing a decent amount of work to the open field, but it's not hitting the building at all. Interesting. So what are you hitting? Well, they took the building. Hello? What are you hitting? Why are you hitting the march? Hit the building. Yeah, I can't even know. So apparently they're not hitting this building anymore. Let's go see the red buildings up here. Shrine of War getting right now beaten pretty bad. There is a Constantine here chilling. I see a, let's see what's in this rally. We have a Saladin, we know for sure. And I would guess a Khan behind him. Trying to hit this Shrine of War. A little bit unsuccessful. The Shrine of War seems to be holding very well so far. And up on the top, the Sky Altar is about to go down. There is a rally and a counter rally on the rally. Unfortunately, seeing counter rallies on Ark of Osiris is a mode that does allow for counter rallies, and counter rallies are a thing. But we have been seeing much more open field swarms than counter rallies as of late. And it's interesting to see that people are still trying to use counter rallies rather than swarm the open field. the big problem with a counter rally is what happens right here, which is once the counter rally is over, if the building is taken by the other team, the counter rally is canceled, and if you're not paying attention, you'll end up going back home. While when you're fighting in the open field, after this last update, you will remain close to the sky altar to whichever building you're looking for, which is what you want. You can see LFaM dipped out of the building. For LFaM, holding onto the building is not the end goal. Their end goal right here was just, we can take this, let's do it, and dip. They didn't have enough people stay alive from what I saw. There's only one March hitting this thing and it destroyed it. There was clearly not enough force to hold on to the building, so they let it go. Someone left and everybody else got kicked out right after, but the damage was done. Right now, for the next 2 minutes and 30 seconds, the red team is going to have to try to hold on to their building, and only then they will start gaining 150 points per minute. What this led us to is the fact that this is a blue building, and it's still under cooldown, and so is this. Everything is blue right now. All the altars are blue right now, and it led us to a point where the blue team of LFaM have 380 points per minute more. 380 points per minute more means that essentially they're going to keep growing their lead consistently as time goes by. The big problem for them is that in the middle, we completely ignored it, but the Ark of Osiris came out, and I have been ignoring the Ark quite a bit, not necessarily because I don't think it's important, but the bottom line of Ark right here is who has the biggest, strongest role in the center. More often than not, it's just looking at the pretty numbers and pictures. But the good strategy that happens around is really what we want to catch more of, which is why is the blue team, while they're so heavy in the center, able to both rally altars as well as defend their own altar while sending marches to the center? The way they're doing that is by divide and conquer. They send their center team forward. They sent a few extra people into the center to take over that center quick. Once the presence was strong enough by blue team that they knew that they could hold on while the arc goes by, the sides now start joining up in the open field. And while all that is going on, rallies are coming out everywhere. Now, this is not a strategy that LFaM came up with per se. And I'm not saying that this is what they're doing, but more often than not, you'll see teams going towards the center, setting themselves up in the center, making sure it's clear, and only then abusing the time the other team is focused on the center to try to get more control on the map. The red team did the exact opposite. They realized what LFaM were doing, and if you notice, even though LFaM are about to get the Ark of Osiris, they've lost the two altars. Red team managed to secure back the two altars, and the open field presence in here is not that great that I would say that this desert altar is safe. But the matter of the fact is the sky altar is about 50 seconds away from ticking in favor of red. And when that happens, two buildings are all that the folks in red need to get back into the game. Each altar is worth 150 points total. And so per minute, which makes an altar the most important building on the map, points-wise. Owning at least two altars is crucial for you to be able to win an Ark of Osiris. If you allow the other team to hold onto one of your altars for an extended period of time, you're essentially giving them 150 points every single minute. If you haven't ever done the math for that, by allowing the other team to have your building for as long as they could have it, 52 whole minutes, you're looking at about 7,800 points that go directly to the other team. So holding on to at least two altars, ensuring that you're holding equal amounts of altars, is crucial. And that is what red team did. They noticed blue was very heavy in the center. They realized they don't have a chance to pick up the arc at this point. And so they went back to the drawing board, picked up their desert altar, picked up their sky altar. They're securing their shrine of life. And now they're chilling. They are a few thousand points behind. They are going to be a few thousand points behind. But they have the building game and they have the time to still come back into this. The folks of LFaM are deploying an old strategy which was nerfed by Lilith as of late, which is hold onto the Ark of Osiris after picking it up. A lot of alliances were taking their Ark of Osiris, just like the folks in LFaM are doing, and just hiding them, even further away than this, throughout the whole match, and there were no Arks in the game. As a response to that, Lilith created a timer. And in 10 minutes, if LFaM if nobody secures the Ark within 10 minutes, it is going to despawn and respawn into the center. So what LFaM are doing is they're essentially buying themselves 10 minutes off the clock to then submit the Ark, the 8-minute timer to start, and essentially they're diminishing the amount of Arks that will be played in the match while securing the first one to themselves. Red team should be able to notice this, and from there we'll go into an attempt to figure out how to counter this play. The attempt to do that will usually come by either winning more on the open field, winning more of the points per minute game, or massive gathering. Now I can tell you, I'm seeing caravans quite all over the place. So people are gathering. It's almost like I had to yell a whole season last season, and JWM had to show it, and OV had to show it for people to start gathering. Thankfully, gathering is now a thing, and the only thing I still am a bit baffled by is the counter rallies. So far in the match, red team lost control of the altars. Sky altar, desert altar, all of them gone. Blue team in solid lead, and the Shrine of Life too. Oh boy. Oh boy, from a fairly close match for the first 20-some minutes, it is starting to look a little bit worrisome. 38 long minutes is more than enough for LA45 to say, okay, let's shift it up another gear and push LFaM back. They still have plenty of time to do that. The problem here is they need to figure out how to essentially throw off LFaM, because as you can see what LFaM are doing is now that they secured this front line on the map, what they're moving their troops forward, ensuring that their wall of defense sits up on the top on the red team side rather than on the back. What ends up happening in these kinds of scenarios is that more often than not, teams will try to do what LA45 are doing right now, which is take the buildings on their side. The problem is the Shrine of Life is a good pick because it is the one building that didn't have any open field presence around, but rallying this, for example, would be a very, very bad idea. There is a very big amount of open field presence here. In these kinds of situations, the folks of the other side should tend to hit the back lines. Right here, you can see the Sky Altar is fairly unsecure. The Shrine of War should be fairly unsecure. Even though it's full, there is no open field presence. And we will most likely see in a moment the red team essentially starting to figure out how they want to counter this, if at all. Let's take a peek at what you guys are thinking, because this match is starting to get a little bit one-handed, and I want to see what you guys think so far. How do you guys like this match? How do you guys like the new Ark of Osiris, Osiris League Season 2, the way it's working out? Some crazy stuff, huh? NB1 losing, 2 103 teams losing. I'm not going to discuss that. Don't ask me. I'm really not going to get into what's going on there. It's not something that is anyone's business, I guess, but themselves, right? I understand that the NB family are a very, very reputable family in the and 103 is very reputable in the game in terms of who they are and the kingdom they are, but it's none of my business, you know? Are there Osiris League skills? How did your Ark of Osiris go? We won, Blue Devil. We won by quite a bit. And I got first place in gathering. I was the most gatherer, which is hilarious. Are there skills in OL? Not in this stage of OL. There might be skills in the later stages. We're not entirely sure about that just yet. Smash Squad winning their league match at the moment. That makes a lot of sense. I think they're playing B&W, aren't they? It looks like the folks in blue are holding onto the forward ground fairly well. They have more people coming up, and this march by Totes really helping out the building tremendously. Open field presence coming up all over. The question is whether it'll be fast enough. Looks like it is fast enough, and the building gets fairly well secured. There's still plenty to go though. Unfortunately, come on. Not cool, Yesenia. Teach their own. Sometimes, you know, you face someone that's way too big. It happens. 18K to 6K, that doesn't surprise me much. That doesn't surprise me much. Let's go take a peek what else is happening. So, red team did take their Shrine of War back. Out of all the buildings that they should have taken, this was the best building for them to take first. Why is that? In case you've never played Ark of Osiris, the Shrine of War gives you very, very important buffs. Right up there. See those? Troop attack and troop defense plus 5%. By taking the building away from LFaM, first and foremost, you take away 5% of their attack and defense, which was your bonus. And then you get them. So from them being 10 and 10 against your 0 and 0, now you guys are at 5 and 5. So that's a very, very important first step to get the rest of the buildings. Baz, thank you for becoming a new member of the channel. On this, I don't think that on this it'll pop. Hold on. Where is it? No. This. Wait for it. It should pop, hopefully. Hopefully it should pop. And if it doesn't, we'll make sure it pops. And my game crashed. What do you know? Let's go back in the game. I'm a farmer. It's true, I'm a farmer. Oh, well, there it is. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate you. It's just my luck? Nah, not your luck at all. It's me messing up. I'm on the wrong. That's why. I'm on the wrong preset. So this is the recording one. Huh. And I don't need the chat blocker while we're in Ark of Osiris. So in a second, it should work like that. It should have been like this the whole time, and now everybody's would be seen. It's not your luck. It's me messing with things that I shouldn't be messing. Let's go. Thank you for becoming a member. Don't forget to do what Nightbot tells you to do, which is how to connect your Discord with your YouTube account. And by doing that, you'll get access to the members only Discord room. 1 hour after you do what Nightbot just told you, you should be seeing it under the general chat. Red team taking away back their Shrine of Life, their Sky Altar, and now fighting for the Desert Altar. I left and came back, and these guys, 31 minutes remaining, 8,000 point difference. These guys did start turning it around. The big problem is that blue is a very, very big presence in the center. In 5 minutes, another arc will pop, and this is a must for red team to be able to come back. The points per minute game is still there, but the problem is blue is so far ahead, 530 points per minute, that every minute that red team doesn't take another building hurts them even further. The gap is growing with every single minute more and more and more. And so right now, the name of the game for red team is one, get the buildings back. And while that's happening, and while they put pressure like this one right here on the buildings that they're supposed to have, hopefully they'll be able to take away some of the blue team's middle presence, and from there, or take their attention away, and from there come in here. This will not be enough to take out this. The blue team is very well positioned, and it's exactly what we talked about previously. If you take a peek, you'll see this is pretty much their center team. There is one player here, Phoenix, this guy, and that guy. That's all, and Brothor. That's 4 or 5 people in here with all their marches. There are more marches coming in. There's a whole 4 minutes remaining, so many more red marches can come in. And blue team, to ensure red team doesn't keep their eyes forward, went on to rally an obelisk. Now this obelisk is in danger. It's taking massive damage, and someone has to get into it. But there are people present. But these people present are not on lanes or going towards the center, which is the diversion blue team went for, by the looks of it. It's not clear. The cool thing about this is that the strategy is not, there is no strategy pretty much in these matches. I think that most of these matches are fairly one-sided. So what ends up happening is more often than not, both teams experiment with things. I've already noticed two different things that LA45 seem to be doing. I haven't recognized a specific pattern just yet. And I don't think there is certain patterns. I don't think taking a look at group stages and trying to figure out the final strategy is a good idea. But watching ARC is always good to figure out which names do what, right? So looking right now at what's going on, red team pushed back, which is what they should have done. They're still one building behind. They've closed the gap significantly to 300 points from 530. Look at the difference now. And now, the main question is, how do they get the center? Now, blue team was standing still. Red team was standing right next to them. And blue team took the opportunity to just pounce. We missed this, but we can see they're much more forward. They realized troops on red side are piling up, and it's time for us to clean what's in here before more gets here, and then they become harder to get rid of. Middle team doing exactly what we talked about. Pushing forward, clearing the center, making sure all of these guys are nowhere near this area. In 2 minutes, an arc pops. Bro Thor is chilling here, ready to take it. Nobody can get around because there's plenty of open field presence everywhere. And so with green team securing this kind of a front and red team not being able to respond with the same, with everybody together, you can't fight 20 marches that are synced together against your 4, period. You're going to need 20 marches of your own that are better. By not having the equal power and by not having the equal amount of troops, red team essentially got taken out one by one, got picked off just like that. This match was not one. At some point halfway through the match, I kind of changed up my mind on how I want to cast it. I feel like for the first match, maybe 2, we're going to talk more in general, like instead of like play shouting matches, we're going to talk more about the theory behind. And then you guys need to let me know what you prefer. I think that we need to find a better formula than just going between buildings and telling you guys what's happening on the screen, which is important. Commentating is the point. But we need to find a fair way to balance some theory crafting, some talking about strategies, about best plays to make, why these plays are being made, why these choices are being made. And so this match we more went for, let's go look at what's happening and try to analyze as to what the situation here is. I think that next match I'll go strictly into play-by-play casting mode to see kind of both of them at their extremes, and then we'll find something that works in the center. I think we can definitely get into a point where we talk strategy, commander pairing, and general moves and reactions and actions while also casting. Doing like what 2 people should be doing. One should be consistently commentating, the other one should be consistently analyzing, but one person, which would be the tough part. By the way, just like Baz said right here, if you haven't yet, drop a like on the stream. I'd really appreciate it. It takes a second and it helps out the channel quite a bit. The YouTube algorithm loves those likes. One click helps out the channel more than you think. Why red not running more rallies instead of swarming? That is a great question. It looks like for red, the big problem in these kinds of matches is right here. If you ask me, the moment blue pushed a bit too much, red broke here. And when red broke here, it's done. They're not running rallies because they don't have that drive they had in the beginning. In the beginning, you saw multiple consistent rallies. But when your spirit is broken, people start going, okay, we start playing for solo points or something like that. That's when you start seeing rallies go down. Now, it could be as simple as changing your strategy. I see 3 more rallies coming up right now, which are good. We haven't seen this in quite a bit. But at the same time, I can understand why all of a sudden they've slowed down and how blue team really managed to push. That first, I think that once they pushed back, and had the Shrine of Life, Shrine of War, and Shrine of an altar. Once they got broken up in the center and pushed back, that's really when they said, okay, it's too much. They probably could have given up on the center because they already did and rallied more buildings, trying to abuse the fact that center is being more looked at. There are a lot of things that they could have done for sure, but I think that their spirits broke. That's what I think happened. And that's the worst part. When your spirit breaks, that's when you see people start let go of the gas. And that's not a bad thing. Sometimes to say, okay, well, ain't no point in me doing this anymore because we lost this match. Let's have some fun and chill. Don't have to be like 100%. I understand that. I definitely do. I've had that. We've played with against T9N twice as BNW. Shout out to Send, and he rallied me a few times. And I don't know. It was like as soon as we said, all right, they broke us, we started playing for fun rather than just trying to actually execute a strategy. And when that happens, you're toast. That's when your strategy goes out the window. When your spirit breaks. And now Thor is going to hold on to this for another 10 minutes. So there's going to be roughly 11 minutes left in the match until the timer for the next arc comes up, which is 8 minutes. So 3 minutes to march an arc means only 2 arcs this match. Both of them going to LFaM. The folks of LA45 taking back their Sky Altar, which is good news for them. They need the points. But blue team has 4,000 points in the form of an arc right now, which is being sneaked up on. It's not going to happen. And they're also, once again, 610 points ahead now. We mentioned in the beginning of the match that there are 3 ways to get points. Gather, Ark of Osiris, and Buildings. And it's crucial for you to be very dominant in 2 of them. So far, blue team, picking up the arc twice, are very, very dominant in the arc department, and they canceled all arcs, so that's it. Only the 2 they have. So blue team win that. Blue team have been consistently in the lead throughout the whole match on the buildings in the points per minute game, and now they're very much in the lead for that. And to make matters worse, because they own so much of the map, there's more than likely a scenario where those who are gathering for the red team are obviously not gathering as far as they should have or could have been. Blue marches are probably marching nearby and catching these things. And so these folks gathering are now having an even tougher time. With all that being said, at 22-ish minutes remaining in the match, we're going to keep following the match and seeing how the red team tries to react, what kind of plays we would have made, analyze a little bit better the things that could have been done differently. But with 21 minutes remaining in the match, there is simply not enough time for the red team to secure enough buildings, lock them up in their favor, and start gaining points over the blue team to win the match. They would need an astounding 12,000 points plus another 4,000 from the arc. So 16,000 points in the next 21 minutes. If you count a 3-minute cooldown, that really leaves you with 18 minutes. So you'd need pretty much the whole map to be able to come back right now, at this second. And the longer it takes, the more likely you are not to be able to get it done. Remember that while that is happening, you're slowly and steadily taking someone else's building. The points per minute are still ticking. So now the gap between them has grown even further. Now it's 16,200, 16,300. That's another minute and another minute and another minute. And so unfortunately, this is GG for LA45, and LFaM are probably taking this win. Once they secure this arc and they ensure that no more arcs show up, and of course, they keep holding on to buildings, there's simply mathematically not enough for LA45 to be able to do. The point where they could have turned things around was before this arc spawned, when they started pushing back on that first aggression by blue. There was a clear focus on the center, much, much bigger by blue than red. This was where red team should have rallied every single blue building in existence. Not only the Sky Altar and the Shrine of War, but also the obelisk, and I'll tell you what, I would go as crazy as say you can go rally the outposts as well, and I'll tell you why in a second. So once you go crazy and you're like, we need to push, we know that the focus isn't on the side lanes, it's on the center, and you start going everywhere, there's not going to be enough people to be able to split around their attention to actually catch every single building. So you will most likely fish one of the three main buildings, either a Shrine of War, an obelisk, or a Sky Altar, just because you sent everything at all of them at once. And if the focus is somewhere else, you'll obviously be able to catch, probably more than likely, you'll be able to catch at least one building. You'll fish one out more than likely. When you do that, you start throwing off your opposition's strategy. Why? Because in their strategy, they own this. If they don't own this, now they got to figure out how they get it back. Now they do have the rallies, all that is good, but for that, they need to push off of the front to go help get the back. That's how you start progressing in. So if there was one thing I think LA45 should have done, is when they were in this exact stage, which is what they had, if I'm not mistaken, they had this instead of that, they should have rallied all of this and all of this. They could have given up the arc, but rallied all 6 buildings. They would have probably fished 2 of the 6, if not even 3. Either held onto them and gained points, or slowed down the growth of blue team, or slowed down the growth of blue team by 3 minutes, or even better, thrown them off their game so that now the center team might have to come help the side lanes, and that's how you catch the arc. Now it's a little bit too late, obviously, and you can see that they're doing that. There are marches pushing forward. There are rallies going forward. The problem is lack of open field presence. Of course, now that the center is secured and the arc is theirs, mid-team went to the lanes to play. At this point, there's nothing you're going to be able to do. Open field on the blue side is way too strong, and they're open field on your side. And that's how they pick up this back really quickly, because Big Boss Totes is not going to let you hold on to this. If she has 4 marches up here and, hello, you have 1 march in here, maybe 2. These guys can take you out. These guys can definitely take you out. A debuffer, a nuker, a big damage dealer, and another big damage dealer. 2 cav nukers and an infantry guy plus a debuff. What are you going to have in this building that is going to be able to hold on? And this is a rally coming back from the back. What are they going to be able to do now? They're trapped between, they're not the same person. So obviously it is harder for everybody now to focus on what the heck is going on. She is going to fish them out one by one in here, make chips out of these guys. And so their open field presence is now too strong. The only way you can get now blue to back off is by getting your open field presence much more precise. And now if LA45 want to just put on a good show, what they should be doing is focusing all their open field presence in one building, getting it, and then going on to the next one all as a group. Right now, LFaM pretty much dominate the map. Even though they don't have the buildings, they dominate the map. They take any building they want whenever they want it. And that's a problem. Red team needs to change the way the map is being looked at. And it's hard to see it while you're playing, because once we're like looking from the top, it's super easy to say, oh, you should do this, you should do that. In a match, things are much, much different. And it's why I never judge anyone's strategy. I more keep an eye on people's mechanics than the strategy itself. Because in the moment, reacting to certain things is much harder than it sounds. But LA45 are not under pressure. They can take the second to look at the map. They already know they don't have the win. Now the question is, how do they, I don't know, close this gap a little bit? Because I'm sure they're all, nope. That's a problem. That is a problem. 79 too. Whoa. That's interesting. These guys really need to start working on their solo points. These guys too. Maybe they were lagging. Maybe we had a little bit of lag going on in here. Interesting. Yeah, 15 minutes, about what? More than double the difference between the two teams at this point. The arc was delivered. In 4 minutes, we'll have another arc. 10 minutes to return an arc is a thing. And so blue team repositioning forward. Middle team pretty much. All of them in here. These guys are middle team. Let's see if we see anyone joining from the sides. Oh, hello. Yeah. Sure. Middle team repositioning back to the center. They know another arc is bound to come. They're not looking really at... They could deliver it. They could easily deliver it again, get a third arc. I wonder if they did this on purpose just to get a little extra points. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But they'll definitely pick up another arc right here. And 11 long minutes to deliver an arc is plenty of time. Plenty of time. Blue buildings blinking. Shrine of War. The first move is being made yet again by OG Texan. OG Texan wants to start up that movement again. Any predictions on who will make it to the finals or teams to watch out for? Not yet. I'm not going to say anything about anyone yet. I can tell you that I have 4 teams that I know for a fact are very, 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 very good and are going to be potential underdogs. I don't want to say who they are because I don't want to jinx them, but I'll reveal. I might reveal. I might not reveal this, but I might, if they do go through. Well, I can reveal to you guys who they are at the end. Who the 4 teams that I'm looking at are. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to say I told you so, or I didn't tell you, or I jinxed it. And at the same time, I don't want to tell you after they win because then it would be kind of messed up. Because like, yeah, sure, you knew this. Well, I'll figure out how to tell you guys, how to make it so that it's maybe on stream. I'll write it on a piece of paper or something, or I don't know. We'll figure out a way to let you guys know who the teams are that I'm keeping an eye on, and if they make it to playoffs, you guys will get to probably very much enjoy their matches. You know what? Not even playoffs. Top 32. Top 32 for all I care. Because there's a second top 32 group stage, right? I think there are 4 underdogs in the 32 divisions that are going to make it to the top 32 that are right now are not seeds. Teams to keep an eye on that I know have been working really, really hard. I'll tell you this. OV lost Clover, sorry. I always say her name wrong. And she was a very, very, very integral piece of their strategy. I'm not saying she's irreplaceable, but again, she was a strong personality in OV, which means, you know, I'm not only talking about her troops on the field, but her presence within the team. And so I would keep my eye to see early on if OV maintain their complete dominance. And it's kind of hard to see it in group stages because they're very much one-sided for someone like OV. I'm pretty sure OV are up there by now. And so what you try to keep an eye on is just to make sure that they're essentially consistent. If they're consistent, then they're exactly what they were before, which will make them a very, very, very good candidate. The big thing is like someone like NB1, for example, who everybody expected them to be there. Any advice from my team, Box? I don't know how you made it to the top of the gathering ladder, but knowing you had that planned out all along. I know that you had that planned out all along. I know you a little bit better than that, and you had that planned out all along, didn't you? You knew you were coming into this match strictly to gather. To take number 1. Am I right? $279 is Imperium now? Ooh, cool. I'm not in his team, Titch, so... Wasn't planned? No way. I know, it's so you to be on the top gatherers list. I wasn't planning on being... I was first in JWM too. I did 4,600 points, and I gathered with 2 marches. I just ran around the map and did nothing with 3. Hit a few... I literally took 3 marches, hit a city. That was like 57 million power with 3 marches. And then I hit, I caught someone running around with a full march. And that's it. All the rest, I was just standing in the center. Makes sense. Yeah, 5 cavalry lines to swarm a city, got 10k points, then went full gather. I should have gone full gather too, you know? I thought about it. That's a pretty nice swarm. That's a pretty nice swarm. What's going on in here? Nothing's going on in there. And you? I see you. I'm free to play. My Ethel flight is 5212 with 5 stars. I'm pairing her with Richard 52, using him for PvP. And 5, is it good? A Richard 52 is not bad. He's healing decently well, and she is doing the debuffs. I wouldn't say you're doing bad. I wouldn't use her necessarily as PvP. I would use her more as a like debuffer. So if you have another march that is a more damage dealing march, then you would pair that march with this, and you keep debuffing with that march while doing the damage with the other one. If you're just using it for 1v1s, it's probably not a good idea. But if you're going to use it in a group of marches, even with alliance mates, where you can be the debuffer, or with your own marches and that one is a debuffing march, then you're good. All your gatherers are max skill and level 60. I don't think I ever bothered to level up my gatherers beyond the 40. But that's a good idea. I should send them around while I'm getting camps. Speaking of which, you remind me, are there towers on box? I am desperately doing all of these keeps, man. Trying to get that dark blessing chest plate before you guys come back into the kingdom, and then there's absolutely no way I can get it done. Nope. 17, man. 17 is something else. I like that dude a lot. Oh my goodness gracious. It is him? Nope. Wolf. You prick. I see you. I'm not gonna even bother TPing there then. Good luck. Ugh. I've been hitting those as much as I can, man. I don't think I'll get there, but I have like 11 fragments right now, so I'm working on it. Okay, but what will be best pair with Ethel and with Richard? Richard pairs really well with almost anything you want to tank with. If you take an eulogy, a maxed out eulogy with a Richard, you wouldn't be in that bad of a shape. If you take a maxed out Sun Tzu with that Richard of yours, you wouldn't be in that bad of a shape in terms of heals. You might wanna. The problem is you don't want to open up another skill. So quite frankly, that Richard is a problem. Ghost Strain, what's up, dude? How you doing? You know, Ghost Train, I confused you with Mad Phantom the other day. Actually, it was today. I confused you with Mad Phantom. I just realized that now, you know? How you doing, man? I haven't seen you in a while. I talked to Phantom today, too. I haven't talked to him in quite a while. I have a Takeda 514. Should I start him? Should I start using him? Or should I pair him with... I don't want to tank your cabs. You could start using him usually. A legendary becomes better than an epic at around 552, whatever. So you're still technically not there. But Takeda is good enough that I would say that you can take that out into the field too. Who should you pair him with? Ooh. I'm trying to think, because out of 514, let's see. Let's take a peek. Do I remember this thing correctly? So you have the healing factor and the cavalry defense stuff, and the defense and not the attack. You could get away, even though I do prefer Saladin, you could get away with putting a Khan in front of that. Probably. And use the defense just to hold on like crazy while Khan produces massive damage. And then you put up some damage too. Additional normal damage plus the defense and the healing factor you tank up. And put Khan at the front. Or any nuker really. I wonder if Mina would work. Probably. You're much more of a D than he is. I know, which is the worst part. Someone said if Chiskel asked on his stream if Mad Phantom was the real Mad Phantom, and because I had confused him with you and he was really just chill, I said no way that's the real Mad Phantom, even though I know it is. He's much more obnoxious than that. And I meant you. I didn't mean him. So that was pretty hilarious. Even though I said it was a joke. But still. I meant you. And I just realized that now. That your picture and his are black and white. And I confused the two of you. Damn it. Richard is a problem because he's not better than an epic at this point. He's good as a healer, but you have much better epic commanders that if you have them expertised, you'll be in a better shape, and you should probably have at least one epic commander that can replace that. Oh, yeah. You could, in theory. You could. Well, not in theory. You could still use it. But, I don't know. You could pair so many better things because he's a bit weak. He's useful if you open all the other skills, but when you do that, you're screwing him up. Who would I pair your Richard with if I had to? Do you have any leadership, before that, do you have any leadership commanders that are strong? You could pair your Ethelfled with a leadership commander, an Osman or a Scipio, and just remember to send a little bit of each set of troops so you get the 3 troop benefits out of the talent tree. And yeah, you can go wild with her and any of the leadership epic commanders. You can go Osman, you can go Scipio. If you want to go legendaries, take your Julius Caesar. That would work too. I wouldn't necessarily pair that Richard with anything right now like that. Problem is usually waiting for them. I redeploy my troops back to the front line after they die. Meanwhile, my team is launching rally up front. Yeah, that is a problem. Victor fan games, no problem at all. Should I finish my 5-5-4-3 Richard after I max Alex? Oof, that's a killer, man. I would say yes because you're already too deep in to back out. But at the same time, that's so expensive. I have Pelagius expertise. I'm new in the game. Cool. All right. That's a better thing to know. All right. So in that case, how's your Boudica looking like? How's your Joan looking like? You can pair your Ethelfled with either Boudica or Joan if they're in a better shape. And we have defeat to LA45. Match ended up a little while back. We were just chilling now in chat. LA45, OG, I. GG's, by the way. Let's get those GG's in the chat. Let's get those GG's out in the chat. If you're a member, you have a GG emote. I'll do that. Let's get some GG's in the chat for these guys. It was a good match. LA45 have some homework to do. It was not the worst thing we've ever seen. They played fairly well. They take the most valuable player. 150 individual honor points is actually kind of a lot for what they went through, so not bad at all. Let's take a peek at what we had here. The total kills seem fairly similar. This is exactly what we were talking about in the pregame. LFaM just had more tier 5s available, and LA45 would have had to heal more. That was pretty much that power difference. You can quite literally see it right there. And this is the types of matches that we tried to find, because there are teams like this one who have taken out a team like LFaM, which is what we saw today with NB1, a team that had a big power gap difference and they probably had to heal more and ended up winning. And so these are the kinds of matches that I'm going to try to find a little bit more of, where we have a high level map where it could go anywhere, and in the beginning is kind of crucial, and from there you see how the match goes. Kill difference is not that big. You can see what pretty much sealed the game. On top of that, they had the occupation score all over the place. Provisions didn't do much work for them. They really didn't need it. I expected to see this out of red team. We said again, they'd probably be gathering a little bit more. Occupation score is really another real killer. This is how they won this match right here. Didn't really use all their teleports. Occupations went somewhat back and forth, and so it seems like red team would take it and blue would almost instantly take it back. Not a bad match at all. Oh, timeout. Yes, good. We need that. Yes. All right, that's better. Although technically, I am in JJWM. I'm not in JWM, so you guys wouldn't be able to see chat anyway. But still. On the alt, this alt actually started getting some troops slowly and steadily. Anyway, Ghost Train, Lilith gonna do commentary again like last season? Ask them. I'm not chasing them this season. If they want to get it done, let me know. I'm game. Last time around, we made it happen like that. And so, but this time I'm not going to chase them. If they want to get it done, I'm in. I've taken the time off. Just gotta tell me a little bit ahead so I can actually tell my manager I'm not coming to work. Like, today was supposed to be that, but there was nothing said, so I left work early and played from here. And then got called back into the office. But anyway, that's a different story for another day. Anyway, do your Lost Canyon coin. Can you bring next season, even though the season's different mode? Zaba, I believe so. I don't think there's going to be a change in this. This is going to remain. I think there's going to be a change in that. None of them are good enough. Both 5-2. Okay. Take your Ethelfled with Joan and make a buffer and debuffer March. And then I would take... Now you're not trash, you're new, man. All's good. And I would take... You can actually take Boudica and pair that Richard with her to kind of give her a little bit of extra length. I don't think that's going to do any good, though. I don't think it's going to do any good. Maybe it would be Ethelfled Joan, and you have Max Pelagius, right? You can probably put Boudica with him with a weird, strange cavalry march. And then the cavalry march does the damage, and the other march buffs and debuffs. And put Richard to the side for now. He's still going to be good. You're still going to keep working on him more than likely, or open up the rest of his skills. But for now, as he is, put him to the side. Or you need more commanders, essentially. But you're getting there. Time will do its thing. Anyway, chat. I'm going to head out of here. Got tons of work to do. YouTube work. I literally got back from the office, said screw it, we're streaming. And that's that. Thank you all very much for watching the stream. Drop a like before you leave. Don't you leave. Don't you leave without dropping a like. Appreciate that. YouTube algorithm will like you. It'll like me a little bit better. It'll help out the channel. It takes you one click. I appreciate very much our brand new member in the channel. Baz, I appreciate you, my dude. Welcome. Connect your YouTube and Discord and come say hi in the members chat. I'm waiting for you. Thank you all for being here. Let's shout out a couple names before I leave. Misty and Ghost Train, Baz and Omar and Abhishek. Alexander, always here. Deathstroke, Titch. Yo, Titch. Listen. I'll make a deal with you. Because I'm a man of my word. See that? Oh, you can't see the buttons. That's actually kind of cool. See that? Oh, how do I click? Click. Use. I'm going to use all the VIP points. Started at 429 and we're at 433 now. So we're still a long way to go. Milton Varga, Throwed Daily, MC Doglio, thank you for being here. Biker, Deathstroke, I said, as always, Ryu, Enver, so many members in the chat today. My lordy, the members group is growing. We're 33 big and growing. Ghost Train, again, appreciate you being here. Box, as always. I don't know how to help your team. Saffron, and who else? Yasinio from Kingdom 45 was here, said they're farmers. Blue Devils, Orang, Ivy, Gumby, who else we have here? Phylix, Mare, Waffles, why are you not able to participate in Osiris League? I saw you wrote that a little while back. I don't even know if you're here or not, but thank you for being here. Soldier Matrix, Big Nauso, Titch, I did my VIP, Wolf was here, and Team was here, Christian was here, Lizard was here, Careless Whisper was here, PK Branded, Big Daddy 101, damn. I said Milton Varga already. The Mood was here for a little while, went to do his arc, hopefully he won. Another member of the channel, just crazy presence from the members is always strong. Lolfix, and so many more, so many more who chatted here today. Thank you for being awesome. You won your first match. Congrats. Fleesh, how'd your match go? What happened with NB1? What happened with NB1 is, what can you do? You win some, you lose some. It is what it is, right? Big Nosa, you're still here. Fleesh, I saw your name, I think on a Ronnie video today. I think so. You got 4th in Attila MGE. Congrats. I hope we win against Chiskel. Oh boy. Oh boy. Good luck with that. Chat, I appreciate every single one of you for being here. Still got top 1 for City Skin Bud. Hell yeah. There it is. Right there. That's the 60 sculptures that are going to come in juicy. I like it. My KVK is about to start in a few days. Any tips, any Mindset Alliance members to participate? I'm the only one in my alliance. Don't migrate. Find somewhere to play with people. We got wrecked today. Damn, Deathstroke. Hit me up on Discord. Let me know how it went. Chat, I'll see you guys sooner rather than later. Appreciate every single one of you. Shut up to the stream and take care. Have a good one. Osiris League is with us, and I will hopefully cast one match every week in the early stages. I'll try to do more. I can't promise anything, but we'll do our best. Hopefully Lilith will do something like we did last time where we casted a bunch of matches throughout Sunday. That'd be dope. But for now, we're flying solo. And with that being said, I'll see you guys sooner rather than later. Take care and have a great rest of your week. Peace.